Welcome to the Animation Station Podcast, your home for discussions and debates about all things animation. Each week, we'll rank, review, and revel in animated shows from yesterday and today, and from around the world. So grab your Acme slingshot, set your mobile suit to autopilot, and put on your mouse ears. The Animation Station Podcast begins now.
Pretty much. That's how I do it. I keep it short.
Did you watch anything this week?
I did. I told you what I watched. I watched Sing.
Oh, yeah.
Finally got around to watching Sing.
Because somebody had to take a day off.
I did take a day off, and it was glorious. But during that day, I watched Sing, and holy cow, dude, that movie delivered. I did not... I mean, I expected it to be good, but I didn't think it'd deliver everything that I wanted it to deliver.
Was it just music?
What
Or
do you
was
mean?
there a story?
Oh, yeah, there's absolutely a story.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no romance in it, so you probably won't like
that
it,
was the problem that I had with it. My idea of the movie was it's going to be we have to save the thing, we saved the thing, or there was either one of two options happen. They make enough money to save the building, or they don't make enough money to save the building, and it goes ahead and gets demolished, but the koala bear person goes and gets all these people that he's gathered, and they open up a new building.
No, some of that is kind of what happens, but not really. Basically, it starts out, and the movie theater's going to be closed. Like, the bank's going to foreclose on the movie theater. Or the theater. It's not a movie theater. And then basically throughout the process of him trying to do this one last show to bring in enough money to save it, they actually accidentally totally destroy the theater. Like,
I know, like you do.
it falls, like crumbles to the ground. And then things go on, and then eventually a patron saves the theater and they rebuild it. But that's the bullet points. But it has a really good story. And it was awesome. The music was amazing. It was, kind of a classic singing competition like American Idol or something. But they got really cool people to do really cool songs.
Did they have a Ryan Seacrest type character?
No, there wasn't like a host character because they never actually got to the point where they were actually doing the show like the original way they wanted to. They kind of improv'd it. It's hard to explain without seeing it. But no Ryan Seacresty character. But the character design in this movie is freaking phenomenal. It's so good. Some of the best character design I've seen in the last couple of years. Every single animal in that is just adorable. It was awesome. So I totally recommend it. You should watch it.
Well, I mean, you didn't buy it, so I would have to spend $3.99 on it.
I'm going to buy it.
$3.99 on it.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to.
No,
I'm
going
to get it.
you to spend your $3.99 and then spend $20 on it, and then let me watch it.
Well, we already did the first part.
Yeah.
Second part won't happen because I won't spend that much money for it, but I will get it.
$17.
That I could do.
Okay. That's probably what it is on Amazon right now.
Yeah. So it was good, man. What about you? Have you watched anything?
No.
Nothing.
Played Mass Effect.
Oh, there's animation in that, right?
Yeah. Didn't really play for a long time though.
I remember playing the first game thinking it looked really, really cool, like the visuals. And I imagine they've just gotten better along the way. So is this one like another leap forward in visual quality?
Yeah, I haven't played too much of it. I played maybe about 2 hours of it.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's not a long time.
Nice. I like it. So I guess you finished Ladybug the second time through?
Yeah.
So you're out of shows right now.
I'm out of shows.
You need to watch Tron Uprising.
Sure. And on that bombshell, welcome to the Animation Station Podcast, episode 35.
Yeah, 35.
I remember things.
Nice job, dude.
Our last March to the Stars
Yeah, our
episode.
Sci-Fi Month conclusion. I've had fun during Sci-Fi Month. I've had a good time.
It's been all right.
I've enjoyed it. Wally was the first one of this month, and it's our biggest episode yet, right?
Yeah, because we put Star vs. Forces of Evil on it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Wally and Star vs. Evil equals
Star
our
vs. Evil?
most downloaded episode yet.
Yes. Don't fight me on this.
I'm not fighting.
I know the analytics.
Oh my gosh.
Anything in news? The Justice
Not that I
League trailer
know
dropped.
of. Okay. That's animated. Yes.
Live action.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I didn't think that was because there was something Justice League-y recently that was animated, right?
Justice League Dark.
Dark. That's right.
It's right over there.
Okay, that already happened.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Somebody said something
Rated
about the
R.
Justice League trailer at work yesterday, and
Yep.
I was like, I don't care.
That was good.
To be
That was
honest.
pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Mass Effect's out.
You were saying something earlier today about an anime movie that you said we should watch. Is that something that's coming out soon, or
A Silent Voice.
Yeah.
Well, it's out in Japan. I don't know who has the rights for it. I would assume Mad Men Entertainment has the rights for it over here.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I could tell, there was no release date
Okay,
for it yet.
so we don't know if they're even dubbing it or anything like that. Okay,
No idea.
nice, cool.
What else we got?
I've been working so much, I haven't been paying attention to anything this week.
I was looking at some of the stuff, and on the Warren Theater site
Yeah.
in Broken Arrow on April 28th through the 30th,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing I guess that weekend, screenings of the English dub of the Cowboy Bebop movie.
Really
So I think we may have to go down to Broken Arrow at the end of April.
nice.
Go see Cowboy Bebop on the big screen.
That's
Never
pretty
seen
sweet.
Cowboy Bebop on the big screen.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I want to see Cowboy Bebop.
I wonder if they're playing it in Texas that weekend.
Oh, you're gonna be on Tejas that weekend?
I will be.
I would assume they are. I would check an Alamo out.
Yeah, probably.
It's got to be some sort of anniversary of it. Maybe the 20th anniversary or something.
Well, I don't think I have those notes in this notebook because I think I started this after that.
Because let's see, it was a 1998
Yeah.
sunrise. So yeah,
I wanna-
probably close around
Really? 20th?
I would say so. Because it was 1998.
Wow. I can't believe it's that old.
Well, the English dub was 1998.
Okay.
Probably 90. Yeah, it would probably be 97.
Maybe it's the
for
20th
original.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Dang.
Jeez.
That's
would be
crazy.
cool.
That's crazy.
Um,
Well, the movie we were talking about today is 15 years old already. I can't believe that.
makes
That's
me
crazy,
feel
man.
old.
Makes you feel old. How do you think I feel?
Boss Baby also comes out this week.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
exciting. We've been talking
And
about that one
then
for a
next
while.
Week,
Then the biggie, the
is
following
Your
weekend.
Name.
Yes, so excited.
I don't care about anything else. I just want to watch Your Name. Because I don't know if we're going to be able to see Boss Baby next week.
This weekend, like opening weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really that likely. Maybe during the week, some night after work, we can do it.
I mean, I'll probably check it out Sunday morning because Saturday's going to be hard because we've got D&D night.
Oh yeah, I'm
The
excited.
first D&D night.
It's gonna be great. So yeah, we can figure something out. I mean, I'm definitely gonna see it. I just don't know that I'll be able to see it opening weekend.
Yeah, same.
So
What else did we get? Oh, the newest episode, or the series finale premiere of the Tangled series.
Oh, yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
that
cool.
came on. Still can't watch it on Amazon.
that's lame.
Movie's not out there, and I can't watch the series either.
That's weird. I
don't know
wonder
what's
what
up
the
with it.
delay is.
No idea.
Like you can't even rent
Nope,
it,
when I
right?
checked it this morning, it was nowhere.
Huh. I find that really surprising.
It's, yeah, it's bizarre.
And it's on. Is it on Disney Channel or Disney
Disney
XD?
Channel.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like the channel ones are the ones that are most exclusive, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I mean, like I could get Gravity Falls and Star. Those are on XD.
They're on
I can
XD,
get
yeah.
them real easy.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's
It's
weird.
It's really bizarre.
I don't get it.
Unless they have something going on with Amazon, but then it was like, well, if Disney Channel has something going on with Amazon, then that would be the whole entire Disney Corporation would have something with Amazon.
Yeah. Well, you'd think that with their deal with Netflix, that maybe some of their TV stuff would have a home there, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
No,
That's lame.
it is. I'm not even 100% sure how that works because I thought it was supposed to be 3 months after the movie hits theaters, it's available on Netflix.
Yeah.
But
Which I think that's
nothing
been,
like that has been like that.
Yeah, I think that's been mostly the case with the stuff they've come out with in the last
What
year.
have they come out with in the last year?
Well, I mean, like Pete's Dragon got on there,
Pete's
and
Dragon came out way more than 3 months ago.
well, I don't know when it got on there.
Like, it was like last month.
Okay.
So I mean, it's longer than the time frame.
Yeah.
Same thing with Moana.
I never knew
Moana
about the
should be
3
out
month.
by now.
I never
If
knew about
that's
the 3-month rule.
Well, I thought that's what I read.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. It may have been 6 months, but I mean, even then.
Maybe it's at that point they've got the ability to buy the license to then stream it, and maybe it's Netflix deciding, we're going to wait a little longer on this one.
Well, I would assume Disney would want to wait, because if you can watch it on Netflix,
they'd want to wait until after
it
gets released in physical format. Yeah, I would agree with that.
So it's just weird. It's a weird thing. Archer season 7, I believe, is coming on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
In April.
Nice.
So I'm like, yeah,
that'll
get back to my
give
Archer
you your
things.
fill. Yeah.
So
that'll fill the gap between then and
that'll fill the gap for about 2 days.
You just don't know how to let anything just stretch out a little bit.
It.
That's all you do is binge.
Just binge. That's the
You're
best
also
way to watch anything.
much more willing to then immediately rewatch something.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I'm not that way. I'll watch a show and then, I don't necessarily want to come back to it for a couple years.
You binge it, and then you go back and you watch it again. So it's like a double binge.
Yeah.
So that way, anything that you missed from the original binging, you've made up for in the second binge.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't have that kind of time.
Well, yeah, because you pretend to work all the time.
I do work all the time, man. Yeah, I took a day off so I could work.
Whose fault is that?
Mine. I understand that.
So, you want to tell everybody what we decided to watch this week?
Yeah, the final March to the Stars movie for us was Treasure Planet from Disney Feature Animation. So, 2002. It's another Ron Clements, John Musker film. Same team that brought us Little Mermaid and all the great movies they did after that. Did you know, though, I didn't know this until I was doing research for this movie.
That it was based off of Treasure Island? Yes.
Yeah, that's not what I was going to say.
That it's not the best rendition of Treasure Island? Yes.
Well, yeah, no, nobody thinks it is. That would be stupid. That they actually pitched the idea for this movie simultaneously with Little Mermaid in 1985. They had been wanting to do it for that long. They pitched it way back when. It was Jeffrey Katzenberger who said no, he wasn't interested in it. He was in charge of the studio at that time, and he kept putting it off, and they kept bringing it to the table, but he kept saying no. They finally got to do it 17 years later.
What do you think about Bob Iger getting the extension?
I'm for it, man. I think he's been great for the company. You?
I don't care.
Okay. I didn't think you had an opinion, but I
was trying to get you to go into a little more detail, but all I get from you is, oh, yeah, that's a good thing.
I mean, what do you want me to say? I wish he would never retire. I think he's great. I think he's done awesome things for the company. I like the way that he's made a focus of investing back in the parks, because the parks is really my favorite thing about the Disney company. So,
do the parks make money?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was...
Not all of them are as profitable, because they're run as their own separate business, each one. Like Disneyland is a business, California Adventure is a business, the Magic Kingdom in Florida is a business, Epcot is a business.
They've never shut down one, have they?
They've been closed on certain days.
Maybe some of the resorts. No, but
you mean actually closed down a park forever?
Yeah.
Some of the water parks, Disney water parks, and at least I think 2 water parks in Disney World have been closed down because they replaced them with new ones. But no, none of the actual traditional Disney parks have ever been shut down. They're way too profitable.
So there's no oh no, I guess I've got Disney Paris for.
Yeah.
It seems weird that Disney Paris is going to cover all of Europe.
Well, I mean, it
maybe like Disney Munich.
The problem is you have to have these. With the exception of Tokyo, they have really made it a point to put them in mostly temperate locations, where they've had to come up with some really weird solutions to deal with the snow in Tokyo Disney. But all the other locations are places that pretty much have limited weather throughout the year. Maybe some rain, and that's it.
Paris
So, putting
snow.
something in Munich, you couldn't really deal with that. they rarely get
Yeah,
anything
I guess
like
you
snow in
wouldn't
Paris.
want, like Disney London.
Yeah,
to be
no, it'd be rainy and
overcast a lot.
foggy all the time, and
That
it
would
would
be the
be
best, though. I would
like,
love
yeah,
that
if it was
place.
Mary Poppins land, yeah, go
Oh.
for it. You do it, you know. But it just, that's why I feel like their next logical place to put a park is going to be. I don't know if there's enough population to support it, but I would say maybe Australia. And I say that because every time I go to Disneyland, I run into packs of Australians. Like, it is their jam to go to vacation and go to Disneyland. Like, it's crazy how many Australians I've met at Disneyland. It's awesome. I've always enjoyed meeting people from all over the world there, and it just seems like that right now has the highest concentration of tourists at Disneyland is Australia.
You would think that it would be better for them to go to Tokyo Disney.
Yeah, but there's still a
It's still
major
something
draw
about going
to
to
those
land.
original American parks, whether it's Disneyland or Disney World. I know a ton of British people who are always going to Disney World. Like, I follow several people, and they live in England, but they're in Disney World all the time, and I never see them at Euro Disney in Paris. I never see that. Sometimes, yes, but so there's something
Well,
to be
isn't
said
Euro
about
Disney a
the
little bit,
draw.
kind of,
Well, it's only one park.
yeah.
That I think they might have another, like a water park or something there. I can't remember, but it's really just Disneyland Paris is what it. I can't remember what it's called now. They've changed the name of it a few times. I think it's Disneyland Paris now, and yeah, that's it. And it's kind of become known as the least like updated park. They haven't really invested a lot in keeping it maintained and plussing it, which is an idea that Walt invented, where he always wanted to plus everything. Like, go back to the drawing board and let's see if we can make this even better, and continually evolve all the attractions and keep them fresh and new and inspiring. And that's the park that apparently has gotten the least attention. So, it's not. That's why Bob Iger, part of his plans he's trying to take it back over, because it's only like, I think Disney's a minority owner of it. And that's true with a lot of their international parks. They don't own these outright. Usually, in order to finance them, they just allow the licensing to happen, and it's those countries that really finance the building of them. Like Hong Kong is the same way, and then Tokyo, I think, is the same way. Shanghai, I believe, is more of a partnership.
Okay.
But they don't. It's not like the Disney company went out and built these parks. They had to have those countries really foot a lot of the bill, and thus they've got a lot of the ownership of those.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Back to Treasure Planet.
Yeah, back to Treasure Planet. So, like you said, Robert Louis Stevenson. It's based on that 19th century novel. Which, fun fact, to use a Joshism, that is the very first novel I ever read. Was
Really?
Treasure Island. Yeah.
He's right in there.
That's a great book.
Yeah,
I love it. I was talking with Charlie earlier, and she was talking to me about how she read like the illustrated abridged version when she was a kid, like a little kid, and like she would use those like as a stepping stone and then read the full book if she was interested in it. And she's like, that one, nah, I left it at that. Like, she was not interested at all.
Aww.
And then she said the same thing about Swiss Family Robinson, and I was like, so you don't like the little boy adventure books? And she's like, yeah.
Well, yeah.
And it makes sense. This is kind of a boy story, and
swashbuckling pirates and
yeah,
knives.
yeah, exactly. And I get it. I think that's part of the reason why this isn't a super popular movie, because it does kind of mostly just appeal to boys. Now, I'm not saying that girls can't like sci-fi and adventure films and movies of this nature or stories of this nature, but by and large, it seems to be a male target audience for something like this.
If I would have been younger when this came out, I probably would have enjoyed it more.
You think so?
Like, if I would have been 8,
yeah,
it's like 5, 6, 7, 8. If I would have been in that area, I think it would have been okay.
Okay.
But
so what you're saying is you didn't enjoy this movie?
But being 13 when the movie came out, it's kind of past that a little bit. I was into more video games and stuff at that point.
Okay.
Starting to get into the anime more. Well, no, let's see, that would have been 2002. So yeah, I was already deep in that hole.
Uh-huh.
So the anime was already happening. So I kind of moved on.
So do you remember what your impression of that movie was back then?
It is another Disney movie.
Like it didn't impress
No,
you at all.
like honestly,
like you didn't think it was cool. You didn't think it was
the majority of the Disney movies growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I like Pocahontas is a Disney movie, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you would have been really young at that point. 6.
I've never seen Pocahontas though.
7. Wait, when were you born? What year?
88.
88. So you would have been 7 when that came out.
Never
you remember seeing that?
Never resonated with me.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. My mom took me to. We went to all the Disney stuff that came out for a long time.
Right.
I had all the VHSs of everything, animated, non-animated, whatever. If it was a Disney movie and it was available on VHS, we had it.
Nice.
So I had everything because my mom,
That's a good mom.
loves Disney. So we had all. I had all that growing. I had the complete Adventures of the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh on VHS growing up.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, I had a lot of Disney growing up, but I don't know, just some of the movies just like never like hit me really.
Okay.
And this is one that just never hit.
So what about on your rewatch today?
It's all right. I liked
Excuse me.
What's his name? Is it Dilbert?
Doppler?
No, huh?
The doctor?
The doctor.
Doppler.
Is it Dilbert Doppler?
Something Doppler is his last name.
Yeah, whatever. Niles. I liked Niles. I thought he was great.
Awesome. Okay.
And it's Emma Roberts, right?
Thompson. Emma Thompson. I don't know who Emma Roberts is. As the captain.
What's her name? Kitty Cat. As the cat. So I like Niles and the cat. Was her name Phoebe? No. What was her? Daphne. So I like Niles and Daphne.
Oh my god.
In this show, in the movie, and I wish there would have been more Niles and Daphne. But
Amelia, Captain Amelia.
Very close to Daphne. Like Earhart. Cool.
Yeah,
so
kinda.
yeah, I like Niles and Amelia. I thought they were great together.
Yeah, I liked their dynamic.
I
gotta tell you, Doppler got on my nerves.
I thought he was great.
I like David
And I
Hyde
liked
Pierce
Ben.
and Frasier, but as a cartoon character, like to me, it's just like, whoa, dude, this is just cheesy.
I liked Ben,
Which one was Ben?
the robot, Martin Short.
Oh God, really?
Yeah.
I cannot believe you liked Ben.
He was a Martin Short type character.
Yeah, he was like Jiminy Glick on speed.
Oh, so much.
Dude,
That's
no,
why it was perfect.
I was like, somebody find the back of this dude's head. We need to get him normalized to some degree.
Then he got normalized. Then he was totally cool. He was chill a little bit.
It was like he took it down, a notch.
bit,
Yeah.
I cared nothing for
funny. Jim, yeah.
There's no connection that I felt for him. I didn't care about his story. There was nothing.
Yeah.
And Bluebit, whatever the stupid little thing's called, didn't care an ounce for Bluebit. And Silver, it's kind of like...
You don't like John Silver?
He was tolerable.
Oh, wow.
The rest of his crew...
It's weird because I like the exact opposite of everything you're saying right now. Like, John Silver is my favorite thing in this movie.
Really?
I do love the captain. I think she's hilarious.
No, but what's good about John? I mean, not John. Jim.
Oh, well, I mean, Jim is kind of just the person that's there to center the story around and kind of have everything happen around it.
Him.
Yeah, well, I said John. No, I said John Silver.
Oh, we're talking about Sorry.
No.
I thought you said
Jim is not my favorite character.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, I like Jim. Like he's tolerable.
Him.
There's a couple of scenes where I'm kind of like, yeah, kind of get on with it a little bit.
You do that in every movie.
I do that in every movie though. Where it's just kind of like
if you already get the point of something, you don't want it to linger ever. Yeah. You want it to move on because you've already gotten the point.
When you figure out like, oh snap, he's a bad guy, but
well,
then he's got
you know the story of Treasure Island.
Yeah, I know exactly. I know the story of Treasure Island.
Right.
That's why it's like none of this was a surprise, and so it's like, oh well. Okay.
That's why it's just neat to see them, retell it in a different environment with. They took some liberties with the plot, but I love
some liberties. They went in space.
Well, yeah, the huge liberties with the setting, some liberties with the plot, but his character to me is just such a great rendition of John Silver, and it was like playing an homage to what we classically think of as that character, but also kind of bringing some newness to it as well. And I really like the way that they developed the relationship between him and Jim. And I think Jim plays off of that well. Now, I kind of agree, and I don't think Jim is a very dynamic character, even though I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's one of my favorite actors. But, they didn't really do much with that kid and with that character. They kind of invented the whole part about him being this troubled kid who's always getting into mischief and whatever. And they did that to kind of play up his mother's story and her hardship and blah, 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 blah.
I'm surprised they didn't kill his mom.
Well, they at least had his dad, leave.
Yeah.
Like, they got to do something. They can't just have a happy home.
In the book.
I don't remember. I
either.
kind of feel like she does, and that's why he ends up leaving, going off, because he's like, well, crap.
Because he stows away.
Yeah. It's
and
been
in
a
this
while
one, he just,
since I've read it.
he joins up. They're like, expedition! It's like, okay.
Oh, I love the port city where it looks like a crescent moon and they pan in.
That's awesome.
And it comes up to, cool. Yeah, I thought that was great. I really thought that the animation in this was pretty good with their combination of CG and 2D animation. They really, I felt, did a great blending of it. It's one of the best Disney films of that era in that regard. And I remember watching this maybe 10 years ago and not being that impressed by it for whatever reason. But rewatching it this week, I was like, okay, this is actually really good. Like, I don't have as much problem with it as I did maybe a decade ago. And maybe that's because I've seen so many that have really struggled with it, that when I go back and see something that's like, no, they actually really did a pretty good job here.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
The visuals aren't bad.
Yeah.
Like, there was no time where I was like, this movie's awful. It wasn't like Titan AE or anything like that.
Right.
Where there was just like things that like jumped out at you and were like, we're bad. There was nothing like that.
Right.
The one thing I did I liked his book when he was a little kid and he was reading his little book and like he sticks his face in and like all the people are still doing the thing. I was like, that was kind of cool. I wish I had a book like that.
Yeah, with like those cool holographic animations that come out. That would be amazing. Yeah, I would have read the whole book over again right then and there.
Read it to me.
That was amazing. Yeah, I thought the visuals were good. I think the character design is really good. I think Jim's character design is a little bit weird to me. I'm not a big fan of the way that they do his face.
What was
little
up
nose
with this
that was
thing?
long.
Like he had that thing on his cheek.
It was like a weird dimple crease.
I couldn't tell. It was like,
I don't know.
Was it a scar? But then it would move whenever he moved.
I think it was supposed to.
Is it his chin? Like, is it his cheek?
I think it's supposed to be just like a crease, like a dimple crease kind of thing that happens when his face is in a certain way, and so you'd see the shadow fill it in.
Yeah, it was really weird.
I don't know. Yeah,
I was not a fan.
I mean, he's the one character design that I kind of am like on. I don't like his hair at all. That era when they were trying to do really contemporary cartoon hair, like we talked about it in Titan AE with Matt Damon's 90s hair.
He does have Matt Damon's haircut.
Except
he also has that little Padawan braid rat tail
thing
in the
straight
back.
out. It doesn't hang down, it sticks out. It drives me nuts. I just want to press it down. Like, gravity doesn't work this way, people. I know, even though you're in space. I want to poke it.
Like, that was one thing in high school, on the girls' basketball team, they would have the little do the ponytail things, but their hair wasn't long enough to do the ponytail.
Oh, so just be like a little nub.
Like a little nub, and I would always go with the nub. It was always great.
That's
they
hilarious.
hated it, but it was like
amazing. I think there was this era in those years at Disney where they were trying to make every new film look so unique and not really kind of embrace the fact that there is a Disney style. We've talked about it before. It's like there's a reason why the Tangled characters look a little like the Frozen characters, look a little like the Moana characters. Like there's a lineage, and they all kind of are based on the same general structures and forms. There was a few years in there where it seemed like they were really trying to be extreme and design unique looking characters. And
how everyone in Pocahontas looks nothing like anybody else in the Disney pantheon.
Yeah, I mean that kind of is an example of that, but I'm really talking a little bit later than that, like their sci-fi run that they had. They did Atlantis sci-fi movie, then they did Lilo and Stitch, I consider a sci-fi movie,
Yeah, it's
and then they did this. They did 3 sci-fi movies in a row.
This came before, after Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah, it was the next one after that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, and all of those, they really tried to go out there with their character design, and I don't think it's their strongest run of character designs, personally.
Yeah.
I like the character design in this, but I don't love it.
I liked Amelia.
Yeah, she was good. I like John Silver a lot. The band of pirates, some of them
sucked.
were okay.
The one that was just a head and legs.
And then
I was like, no, get out of here.
That was kind of cheesy. But they were just a kind of background characters for the most part anyway.
Yeah.
Except for the one, what is his name, Scroop or something that was the
Spider guy.
Spider guy. Yeah, like he was more of a character, but even him, I was just like, you're okay,
I kind of liked, was it Arrow? The big rock guy?
Oh, what was his name? Let me see here. Let me pull up the cast. Vamp, Josh.
I thought he was kind of cool, like big rock dude. I kind of got like what's the guy's name from
I don't have a full cast list
Pirates of the
here.
Caribbean?
Jack Sparrow?
Nope, the
Who
other
are you
one.
talking about?
Like his second in command, one with the mutton chops.
Oh, Ben.
Ben, that's the vibe I got from him.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, yeah,
I see
yeah.
that. Arrow, yeah, it is Arrow. I know who you're talking about now. Okay,
Yeah,
I was
Rocky
thinking
Man.
of a different guy.
And then,
The guy who falls into the black hole.
Well, he doesn't really fall. He kind of gets murdered.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, the rope gets cut and he falls. Yeah. Speaking of, how about that instant supernova / black hole formation?
Hey, man, it happens.
That was amazing.
We don't know how long that happens because it's been millions of years by the time that we see it.
Right. Also, they made a conscious decision to make this a warmer space environment than what is typically exactly. And so they're not in space, they're in the Ethereum, which is basically their version of space with atmosphere. So that's why people can be doing things topside on their ships, because they're in Ethereum, not space.
Have to make sure that anti-grav's on.
Right, exactly. I always love in sci-fi things where just because the gravity is off, apparently everybody is instantly like pushing off because everything goes up. It's like, no, there has to be a force to create that, but I always thought that was funny.
Yeah, it's always weird because like people will be sitting and like it'll go up and everything will slowly float. And you're like, this wasn't technically moving. This was literally just a cheeseburger.
Right.
There was no centrifugal force around said cheeseburger to make it fly off into space.
It's almost like the gravity drive had some elasticity to it, and so when it turns off, it snaps back up.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just like a little jolt.
Right.
Maybe the ship's just constantly
vibrating.
Like
that could be the vibrations just send it off.
Yeah, the engine is kind of going like.
But I liked the way that they created space or Ethereum ships out of traditional sailing ships.
And they just use solar winds.
With solar sails, and they had some like afterburners, some thrusters on them, things like that.
Well, that was fueled by the solar sails.
Right, exactly.
So which kind of makes sense. You're like, okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. When they went into the design of this movie, they set a rule for themselves. I think it was Clements that set this rule for the crew, and they called it the 70-30 rule, where they wanted 70% of this to look like a traditional pirate tale and 30% of it to look science fiction. So, like, the ship is designed with 70% of an actual ship in mind, and then 30% of it is just sci-fi elements added to it. The sails, instead of being canvas, are that solar metallic whatever it is.
Yeah.
Things like
solar
that.
mithril.
And I thought that was a really cool concept to do it that way, to kind of keep it with that warmth and romanticism of the idea of sailing on the high seas with a band of pirates and things like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
All right, you ready to rank this?
Let's do it, man.
So I'm going to give this 2 Dipper Pines.
2, huh?
Yeah, I was not a fan.
So you weren't really entertained by this at all?
No. Man. Like, it's one of those, like, I watched this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to watch this movie again.
All right.
It's like,
Two's enough.
I know how Treasure Island goes,
Mm-hmm.
and there's way better versions of Treasure Island out there. So if I want any sort of, fix like this, I'll go watch something else.
What is your favorite version of Treasure Island?
There was a made-for-TV PBS one
Oh,
back a while ago. I think it was in
I haven't seen that one.
It was in the late 90s, early 2000s. I would assume it's probably early 2000s because it would have been around try to capitalize off of this.
yeah.
It's really, really good.
This was actually largely, heavily influenced and inspired by and based on an Italian miniseries that came out in the late 80s called Treasure Island in Space. They actually drew a lot of their imagery and ideas from that miniseries. It wasn't an animated series. It was like a live action series.
And it's Italian.
Yeah, so I found that out. I'd be interested to look it up on YouTube and see if we can see any of it to see.
Treasure Island in Space.
Yeah, indeed. All right, let me rate it real quick. Out of 5 Jiminy Crickets, I'm actually going to give this one a 3.5. I really do enjoy this movie. I've always enjoyed the story of Treasure Island, and I think this is a good treatment of it. I've always liked sci-fi, so I enjoy the environments. Really, my only criticisms are the Goo Goo Dolls lead singer who sings the song in the middle, which I don't care for.
It's so random.
It's so off-putting to me. He just starts singing, you're like, what is this?
And that's the only music in the... That's
the only song,
the only
yeah.
song, and you're just like...
Yeah, exactly. So, like
Okay.
him, I'm not a big fan of David Hyde Pierce in this. I'm not a big fan of Martin Short in this. I just think they're annoying to me. But
And those are my two favorite characters.
Other than that, I really enjoy this movie. I watch it fairly frequently, so
Really?
I like it. I do like it.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite science fiction films.
Maybe next March to the Stars, I'll get some more sci-fi anime in there.
Yeah, we definitely
that you
should.
can watch.
We definitely should.
But a lot of it's series, man, so it just makes it so difficult.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Unless we want to watch Endless Waltz.
That's the Gundam one, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I knew something.
Good job, Gavin. Eiffel Tower. There we go.
Nice.
All right, so top 5?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Top 5?
And now for another top 5.
Josh Kane, you don't look ready for the top 5. Are you ready?
Don't ever say you arrived ready.
I did arrive ready. I'm ready to go, man. I got my top 5.
Go.
I'm first this week,
You're
I think,
first
right?
this week.
Okay, cool. So, my top 5 is something that people have been talking a lot about recently. It's a TV show. Back after a long time. Samurai Jack.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Watcha.
I love that show, man. It's so good.
I've got the second episode.
Really? I mean, it's one. As soon as it's done, I'm buying season 5. So, I mean, I'm just kind of waiting till that
second
happens.
episode, there's a part at the beginning with Aku, and you're like,
What?
it just wasn't good.
Really? It's a new voice actor, right?
Yeah.
Is it because that's not good?
No, it was just too silly.
Well, he can be quite silly.
This was, he went and talked to himself as a therapist. It was
Okay.
It was really bizarre.
Do you remember that episode? I think it's in season 3 when he's gathered all the children so that he can tell propagandic stories about how evil Jack is. I love that episode.
And they keep
it's
like,
so
but
good.
and he's like, no. Yeah, that's good.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
The Aku-centric episodes are usually my favorite.
Yeah, this one though, it was just a snippet bit.
Yeah.
It was about maybe a quarter of the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, but then they go into Jack meets the daughters of Aku.
Ooh, cool.
And it's really, really good.
Nice.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sold. Just knowing that Gendy's on the show and that it's more Samurai Jack, I'm sold. So as soon as it's available, I'm going to buy it.
yeah,
I can't wait.
It's good so far.
Cool.
My number 5, I went with a little anime called Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Nice. Good pick.
I love Shinji, and I love
I should write
Asuka.
that down as a honorable mention. I didn't think of that one.
Yeah, it's really up there from some of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
anime just because of the storyline.
It's one of the only full anime that I've seen. Like that and Bebop, I think, are the only two.
Yeah, and it's weird because like you have this whole entire thing where you kind of figure out, know what's going on, and then they completely swap it on you in the second act.
Right.
And you're like, oh no, this is all different. This is all insane. And then like the mind games happen with Shinji, and you're like, what? And then everybody turns into orange goo. It's great.
I've never read the series, but from what I know of it, I'm going to ask you this question. And I'm pretty sure you've probably read the series. Is it in any way inspired by or drawn from the Ender's Game series? Because it kind of seems similar. Isn't it like a child prodigy who has to like control some sort of...
Well, he's not even a child prodigy.
He's not?
He just happens to be...
Or
he's
sensitive,
son.
or he's got enough midichlorians, or whatever it is.
Not really. He just is his dad's kid.
Okay.
And so that's pretty much it.
All right.
Yeah, there's some stuff that involves his mom, and like Ray is a clone of his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers for everyone from the show that's been out for 20 years.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, so like Ray is a clone of his mom,
mm-hmm.
so he kind of falls in love with the clone of his mom, but then Asuka's there. But they're all somehow kind of related. It's really bizarre.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a whole hour long, conversation of figuring out what the heck Evangelion is.
Yeah,
and that's what makes it
crazy.
Great.
Yeah, I remember that when I watched it.
When you have to sit down and figure out what the heck just happened from what you just watched.
Right.
That's a great series.
Yeah.
For me.
No, I agree. I thought it was great when I watched it.
Especially when you have to watch it multiple times just to try and figure out what the heck happened.
Right. All right, number 4 for Gavin. Padma Inverted. That is a fantastic movie, man.
So good.
It is so good. I'm still thankful that you chose it for us to watch on this show because, man, it was so good. I loved it.
And I forgot to put Padma
really?
on here.
Oh, yeah, until I mentioned that a little while ago.
I did a bunch of series.
Oh, okay.
I had, when we started, I had one movie on here.
Well, that's kind of what you think of when you think of animation. You think of series, where I think of movies.
So that's why I was racking my brain for series in my head, trying to figure it out.
Right.
All right, so unfortunately, because I had forgotten about Summer Wars.
Oh man, I can't believe you forgot about it.
I'm going to put it as my number 4.
Dang.
So it's a twofer.
Josh Kane.
So we're going to have Summer. I honestly want Summer Wars to be higher, but there's these two other things that it's my favorite anime movie so far that I've seen. It's my favorite anime movie.
So you would have been better off if we did top 5 sci-fi series and top 5 sci-fi movies separately.
Yes, because then this would have been number 1 at the tippity top.
Gotcha.
So, but with the series, with the other things that I have on here, I'm gonna put Summer Wars at number 4, along with another anime series called Last Exile.
Okay.
Absolutely love Last Exile. It's steampunky. It's kind of punky. It's steampunky. It's kind of what we watched. So there's airships and everything instead of regular ships. But when they hit clouds and everything, it looks like they're actually ships on the clouds.
That's kind of cool.
And they have little kind of biplane-esque things that they use as like couriers and fighters and everything like that. And that's the kind of like the premise of it. It's like these kids there, delivery people. Yeah. And they kind of stumble upon this big war that's happening. So it's basically the same thing like an old naval battle. They come out.
They turn sideways.
They've got cannons, and then they've got guys like they're kind of like almost Russian guys versus like English Hessian type, people. Can't really tell what type of because they're different. So they line up, the whole line formation, and they've got their muskets drawn, and they fire like that. So they, kind of like broadside each other with cannons and musket fire. It's kind of like a show, like how, old military stuff.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
in
yeah,
the,
yeah.
The Napoleonics type stuff where it's like,
Yeah.
this is a show. You guys are going to get shot more than likely.
Right.
So kind of like that. And it's really, really good. It's a great series. And Johnny Young Bosch is the main character. So.
Your boyfriend.
Exactly.
Nice.
But yeah, absolutely
Cool,
love.
man.
I love Last Exile.
It sounds good.
And yeah, it's great. And Summer Wars. I can't talk more about Summer. I mean, I can talk more about Summer Wars, but we're gonna wait until
We're gonna
May.
do it in 2 months. Yeah.
So
well, not even.
we'll talk about Summer
That
Wars.
would be like a month
in
and a
a
half.
month, yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's gonna be cool. Anime is gonna be amazing.
It's might as well 2 months. It's the last thing we're doing in anime.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 months then.
Oh, we haven't said what we're doing in anime. Well, guess what, guys? Summer Wars is in anime.
No big deal.
That'll come out next month.
Little appetizer for you. Little tidbit. Number 3? Is that where we're
Number
on?
3.
Yeah. All right. This one is one that it might be a bit of a stretch to call it science fiction, but I love it, and it's about an inventor who creates a weather machine that actually creates food. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
I would consider it sci-fi because
Yeah.
he does invent things.
Yeah. I love that movie, man. It entertains me from top to bottom and every time. It's so good.
And Bill Hader's fantastic in that.
Bill Hader's amazing in that movie.
Bill Hader, Mr. T.
Mr. T's amazing. NPH is amazing.
Who's the girl?
It is, what's her name? Anna Faris.
Anna Faris.
Yeah.
I was like,
And James Caan is his dad.
oh, James
amazing.
Caan.
Yeah.
Oh, James Caan.
NPH is Steve. He's great too. Yeah, it's so good. I love that movie. The sequel was pretty good, but that first one, amazing. So that's my number 3.
My number 3, I'm going to go with another little anime series called Trigun.
Okay.
Also starring
Johnny Young
Young
Bosch. How did I know?
Yeah, no. But yeah, it's...
Which one is Trigun? Because I get a lot of these famous ones mixed up in my head.
Trigun, he's a bounty hunter. Well,
not the
no, he's
character.
not a
Like,
bounty
what is the series? Like, is it like mechs and stuff?
No,
or
he's,
is it like
he's a dude
cowboy
in red,
dudes
yeah,
like shooting guns and
cowboy
stuff?
dudes.
Okay.
He's in a red coat.
I thought that was
blonde,
what it
spiky
was.
hair.
Okay. I got you.
And he has a cool gun.
Yes.
And
Okay.
he shoots people. It's like pew, 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 pew. and he puts them.
That was the
persona.
whisper pew pew pew.
Oh yeah, it's silent.
Pew, pew, pew.
He acts like an idiot because
To throw people off?
off.
Oh, okay.
Because he's got a $6 billion bounty on his head.
Oh, jeez.
Does he use Woolongs? No, double dollars. $6 billion double dollars. So whatever a double dollar is, I guess you could like
$2 bills.
$2 bills.
Yeah.
So $6 billion $2 bills. It's even more. He's worth $12 billion.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
it's a great show.
Cool. Did they ever do a movie?
Yes, they did.
They did?
Trigun Badlands Rumble, which takes place in between the series.
See, I don't like when they do that.
So yeah, they leave the series kind of ambiguous
Yeah.
because you don't really know what happens between him and Knives.
Yeah.
His brother's name is Knives Million.
Does he throw knives?
No.
Oh.
He kind of shoots. Okay, he kind of has knives. But he's voiced, as a child, is voiced by Joshua Seth, who played Ty in the Digimon series.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
All right. Now I know what Trigun is.
And
Yeah,
then
I get a lot
later-
of those mixed up.
And then later, Johnny Young Bosch, in the kind of like the Digimon Adventure Tri,
Mhm.
Johnny Young Bosch joins Joshua Seth again to voice TK in Digimon.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
The
So more you
family
know.
tree of anime.
Exactly. So they started working with each other,
Mm-hmm.
left for a while, came back.
Came back. Full circle.
Yep.
It's the circle of life, man. All right. My number 2 is a film that we did earlier in Sci-Fi Month. It's not my favorite anime anymore, but it's very, very, very close. It's my number 2, and it's Metropolis. I still love that
What's
movie.
your favorite anime?
Remember, Boy and the Beast is
Oh,
now
that's
my
right,
favorite
that's
anime.
right.
Yeah, thank you again for showing me that film. But yeah, Metropolis, I still love it. There's so much about that movie that I just adore. But its detractors are where Boy and the Beast excel.
Yeah.
So Boy and the Beast slightly above, but I didn't really consider that sci-fi, so I didn't put it on this list.
Like, I was trying
That's more.
when
That's pretty much fantasy.
When we were
to me.
talking, it's like, what do I consider science
Mhm.
fiction? So like science fiction to me is like robots and anything that has to do with like science, like
Right.
space. Pretty much, if it's in space
Mm-hmm.
or space is a main theme,
Right.
it's a science fiction.
Right.
Where if space is not a main theme, then it's more of a fantasy.
Let me ask you this. Jurassic Park, science fiction? Charlie and I argue this all the time. She says no, I say yes. To me, that is pure science fiction.
Because they do use science. I would say the book is more science fiction than the movie.
Okay, I'll grant you that, I guess.
Because there's way more science in the movie. And
yeah, but I don't have to have like explanations of the science. It doesn't have to be Hunt for Red October where they literally tell you step by step how to build an atomic bomb. I mean, it doesn't have to be that detailed for me. Like just the fact that there are scientists creating dinosaurs using new biological and genetic technology.
I'm going to say the
That's
book
science
yes,
fiction.
the movie no.
Weird.
Which doesn't make any sense. I will agree with you. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
But to me, the book is way more science fiction than...
Right.
Yeah.
So, Back to the Future. Science fiction?
Garbage.
No, come on. Don't be that way. Science fiction, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Because there is an element of space in it because he is going through like the space-time continuum to go back in time.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah. I got it.
Any more? Starship Troopers. I would consider science fiction.
Well, clearly. Yeah. There's one more that I was going to ask about.
Congo.
E.T.
That's pure science fiction.
Okay, cool.
Because he is a literal alien from outer space.
An extraterrestrial, yes. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted, those are kind of the big, like, generalization ones that I wanted to ask about.
I would also consider Stranger Things, because even though it's not space, it is an alternate dimension.
Yeah. See, I think this is where we reached close to that breaking point of the superhero discussion.
Yeah.
Where, like, Spider-Man, I would consider science fiction. Superman, I would consider science fiction.
Batman, not really science fiction.
Batman, it kind of is because he's inventing technological
he's also just
advances.
Really rich.
Well, it doesn't matter if you have funding or not, whether or not it's sci-fi.
If you do the Nolan stuff, he doesn't invent anything.
The Nolan stuff?
Yeah, like the Christopher Nolan stuff, like the stuff with Christian Bale.
Where does that stuff come from?
He has Lucius Fox at Wayne Enterprises make it for him. He just
that doesn't matter who makes it. I mean, the story includes it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter if Dr. Grant made dinosaurs, Hammond.
Because
if Hammond made dinosaurs or not, or if it was some other guy, it doesn't matter who makes it, the technology. It matters that it's a part of the story.
Yeah, it's weird. We're cutting really thin lines.
Yeah, we are. I just want to see where you draw the line. And
yeah, like science. Like my number 2, I wasn't considering it sci-fi until you did bring up season 2 is heavily science fiction.
Right. And if you go back, a lot of that plays into what happened in season 1.
Yeah. So my number 2, I went with Disney's Gravity Falls.
Yes, good pick, dude.
It was really tough to put it on here just because it is technically science, but I just don't. It's hard to see it as science fiction though.
I think of it as science fiction. I mean, to me, it really is. Oh, there's one more I'm going to ask you about.
Yeah.
Frankenstein, science fiction or not?
Ooh.
I say yes.
Is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
Mm-hmm. Or I'll give you an alternative: The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Island of Dr. Moreau definitely is. So if Island of Dr. Moreau is, then Frankenstein
must be right. Okay, yeah. Cool. Agreed. Hey, we agreed on something.
Hey, Eiffel Tower.
Nice. All right.
By the way, Eiffel Tower is when you say Eiffel Tower and then you give somebody a high five.
You give a high five right in the middle,
Tower.
so it makes a shape.
Yep,
Eiffel Tower.
exactly.
Yeah, got it.
So honorable mentions.
Shout out to IT Crowd. Honorable mentions. I've got a lot because this one was a good one for me. Like I really enjoyed putting together this list. So I'll just go quick. Meet the Robinsons, Wreck-It Ralph, Tron Uprising, the series, Clone Wars, the series, the Genndy Tartakovsky one, The Iron Giant, Megamind, Monsters vs. Aliens, Planet 51.
Ooh, Planet 51.
Robots. Cowboy Bebop, the series and the movie, both awesome. Gravity Falls, of course. Treasure Planet, tonight's movie. Titan AE, I'm still entertained by it. I enjoy watching it. Hey, every time. Futurama, Big Hero 6, Frankenweenie. That's why I asked you the Frankenstein question.
Okay.
Lilo and Stitch, Mars Needs Moms, and I had to add Neon Genesis Evangelion because I forgot about that one.
All right. I liked some of your list.
Oh, thanks.
So for my honorable mentions, I went, get ready for anime.
All right.
I went Gurren Lagann,
Okay.
Fooly Cooly, Star Wars Clone Wars,
Nice.
Tartakovsky, Samurai Jack,
Excellent.
Futurama,
Mm-hmm.
Big Hero 6, Gundam Wing,
I figured that would be on there
Tenchi
somewhere.
Muyo,
I don't know that
and the
one.
whole entire Tenchi series.
Okay.
Futurama, and Padma Inverted.
Nice. I really thought Padma would make it onto your list, but it makes sense that you're more of a series guy, and if we had separated them out, it would probably be second to Summer Wars, huh? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It would really be a toss up. I would have to watch both of them back to back.
Yeah.
And then decide from there.
Right. That makes sense.
So maybe an anime.
Okay.
Well, animes should be our don't we already have them? Were our favorite sci-fi?
I think we picked.
Not sci-fi. We should do favorite anime series.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite anime movies.
All right, we can do that. You'll have some long lists.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a 30 minutes just to do my honorable mentions.
That's hilarious.
I like it. Pokemon and Digimon and
all the mans.
All the mans. Like Digimon. Digimon is technically science fiction because they do get sucked into a digital world, so like a computer pretty much.
Yeah, like Tron.
But they're literally made out of data.
Mm-hmm. Like Tron.
But I don't really consider it a sci-fi.
Sci-fi? Yeah.
It's really bizarre.
It's weird.
Really
when
bizarre.
you talk about genres in literature, in film, TV, in comics, whatever it is, people have different ways of defining things. There is no black and white. And I think that makes it all very interesting. And a lot of these things are, you can have a mystery, thriller, sci-fi, fantasy story. It can have all those elements. It doesn't have to be purely one thing. So I love the endless spectrum that science fiction can be. And I mean, at the core of it, like my favorite thing is the science fiction part of these stories. Yeah. But I love that they can have other elements to them. They can be a romance, and they can be a mystery, and they can be a thriller as well as being science fiction. Yeah. So, dude, are you pumped about Audience Appreciation April?
Well, we're not done.
Oh, we're not?
We didn't do our ones.
Dude, I always forget about the top choices. Jeez. I'm the worst.
My gosh. It's like...
I think because logically to me, like, I would do the honorable mentions after the fact. Yeah, but we've always done it this way, so I don't know why I'm not used to it yet. 35 episodes in.
35 times.
Actually, no. We've only done it 34 times because we didn't do it in our very first episode. We didn't.
Yeah.
I recently re-listened to it.
We did it in another we didn't do it in another episode too. We did a Cartoon Cafe instead.
Oh, you're right. Was that the time we did Kubo?
I think it was Kubo.
Okay.
We did Kubo with it.
33 times we've done this. Got it.
But still, you should know.
I should. I'm terrible.
We should do an extra. We should do 2 top 5s in April,
just to make up for it.
Yeah, like do. Well, I guess like one episode we do 2, and another episode we do. Then we'll be completely caught up with top 5s.
I mean, I'd be fine with that. I like doing the top 5s. They're fun.
All right.
My number one is...
Let me guess. Is it WALL-E?
It is!
Oh.
I love how predictable I've become to you. Yes, WALL-E is... And before this month, I don't think I would have put it on there. But my rewatch of that this month, at the beginning of March to the Stars, really reminded me of how much I love that movie. I find it to be a beautiful, beautiful work of animation and storytelling that is so impressive because they don't say hardly anything in the whole movie. I find that so impressive, and I just love it, man.
Well, they don't say hardly anything. There's a lot of dialogue.
There are some, not compared to most movies, though. Compared to most movies,
when we get on the
script would be very short.
When we get on the spaceship, then it's like...
Yeah, that's true.
Like, look, a boat.
Yeah, so WALL-E's my top. What's yours, dude?
Pizza trees. Now let's see if you can guess what my number 1 is.
Pizza trees. Oh gosh.
I think I mentioned it in my honorable mentions, and I haven't mentioned it so far.
Oh, is it Cowboy Bebop?
It is very much
nice.
Cowboy Bebop.
Excellent.
Oh, Spike Spiegel.
Yeah, man, he's awesome.
Faye.
Who we got to see in Metropolis?
We did get to see.
We got to
Steve
hear.
Irwin.
We got to
yeah,
hear.
we got to hear him.
And Aladdin,
Was
who
also
dies.
there. They both die. So we lost Spike
That's true.
and Aladdin.
That's true. Oh man. Hats off. Moment of silence. Spike and Aladdin.
Poor Spike dies twice. Yeah. We also watched. I showed you the unaired pilot for Gravity Falls.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting.
What'd you think?
You know, like the character style was pretty much the same. They obviously made some different choices, but
it was
then
more 2D. I like
the environments.
It
was like they almost were doing like clip art of some things because it was probably just put together like, okay, this is the general idea. It's not going to look like this, but you could tell it was made for kind of a pitch. Like it wasn't really TV ready.
Since it was a pitch, they were able to do whatever music they wanted to in
yeah,
there.
mm-hmm.
That's why I said, summertime.
Yeah.
And it's got like the Galaxy Quest when he gets in the like
in the golf cart,
and it just stops. It's like, oh snap, I hit something.
It was cool. Like why is that on YouTube? Is it like an extra on the DVD package?
There's no DVDs.
They've never put that on DVD?
Nope.
What the heck?
Disney puts nothing on DVD.
They're so dumb. They could make money hand over fist.
But Disney's stupid.
There must be some reason why they don't.
Again, Disney is idiotic when it comes to their TV shows.
See, I thought it was mostly that they wouldn't stream most of it, but they're not actually putting any of it on DVD.
It's nowhere.
Why?
Unless it's freaking Phineas and Ferb. You can get Phineas and Ferb wherever you want, but you can't get anything else.
That's weird. There must be some reason. Like some good reason. Because they're a smart company with their products.
What it could possibly be.
They must not be able to make enough money off of them.
You can't get any Kim Possible anywhere. Mm-hmm. You can't get any Gravity Falls anywhere.
What about DuckTales? Like the classic ones?
Anywhere. I'm sure they probably had it on VHS back in the day.
But not now.
I don't know who runs Disney Distribution, but they should be fired because they're morons. I mean, sorry if you're listening and you run that or you know somebody that does, but they're idiotic.
I doubt they're listening, but if they are, why don't you sell us this stuff?
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, you would make tons of money.
I know, it's so weird.
Like all you have for Gravity Falls is you've got a journal.
Yeah,
which is
that's
great.
it.
I have it. It's cool. Only thing you've got for Star is you've got a book, which is great. It's cool.
Like that Dipper Pines hat that you bought. Is that even Disney merchandise, or is that just somebody made?
It is the official Disney one, but it's not distributed by Disney.
Ah,
yeah,
weird. It's so weird.
I don't know what Disney does.
I don't know.
And I mean,
like, does Nickelodeon put all their stuff on DVD?
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon puts anything that they have out.
I know PBS does
because they're like, how can we make money? DVD sales.
Yeah.
Boop. There you go. That's what they do.
It's so weird.
Like
there must be some reason.
I don't know what it could possibly be.
I don't know either.
Other than they're dumb.
Do you remember ever meeting somebody from Disney Television and maybe pissing them off? And this is a vendetta directly against you?
I've pissed off a lot of people in my time. So
you've made it a hobby of sorts.
Yeah, I mean, I do my best.
I know nobody at Pixar is going to do anything for you.
Oh, no. They can all sit and spin for all I care, man. I don't care anything about Pixar.
Man, Pixar hate.
But yeah, I like the art style in this a little bit better.
Really?
Then I like the character design. I liked Mabel because they're not as kiddie. I think they're older than 12 in this show.
I agree with that.
I would say they're probably 14 because like they look a little bit taller. They're not as squanch.
Squanch. You've used that word on this show before.
Because they've been squanch.
And I love that you use your own personal
squanch is a word.
Josh Kane coined terms.
Squanch is a word.
Squanch.
Yeah, it's weird how they like.
I know what you're talking about.
They have bigger heads,
which is saying something.
But in this one, they look normal-esque.
Huh.
Grunkle Stan doesn't look normal at all. He looks like this creepy goblin man.
Yeah, he looks interesting. It's weird because I found Gravity Falls to be one of the most expertly designed shows I've ever seen. I thought that the show was perfect.
I'm not saying it's not perfect. Like, I love the way the show looks.
Yeah.
But compared to this, I wish we would have gotten a little bit of something with this. Just because I like that style. I like flat 2D. I really like flat 2D. Because there's a lot of anime that's flat 2D.
Right.
Gravity Falls isn't really flat. It is kind of more of a
it's pretty flat, but it has like layers of flatness.
Exactly.
So there's like depth, kind of like the multiplane effect.
Exactly.
Yeah. I agree with that, but I disagree with liking the art in the pilot better. I liked it. I thought it was good, but what they ended on, I thought was just like from the first moment I saw Gravity Falls, I was like, this show is beautiful.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want to take anything away from Gravity Falls.
Right.
I love Gravity Falls.
It's your favorite American television show. It's an animated television show.
Yeah. I was going to say it was my favorite Disney. I was going to say it was my favorite Disney thing that has ever come out.
More than Lion King?
That's where I was drawing up.
Wow.
Lion King came up, and I was like, ooh.
I love Gravity Falls, but I can't even imagine that competing with something like Lion King.
I get more Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I guess.
But I don't have an ending for Gravity Falls, really. They
ends.
leave, but I want them to come back. Because we have clones 3 and 4 that are still out there in that woods, man. We got to get those guys out before
Don't they dissolve
it rains.
in water? I was going to say, they're not there anymore.
Dude, they're totally there.
No.
Did you not see, like...
And they're waterproof
at the
shelter?
end, they're going through that stuff, and, like, they're looking, like, through a journal or whatever, and showing a bunch of pictures. And in the pictures, it shows clones 3 and 4 sitting under, like, this...
Yeah, at that point. Yeah, but now...
And they're totally fine.
Now they're not.
Oh, they're fine.
They haven't survived this long.
It's raining in that picture, but they've got a little awning over them, and they're just, like, sitting under this campfire.
I'm sorry, totally but in Oregon, you can't avoid moisture for that long.
Dude, they're fine. It's direct water.
All right.
They're okay with humidity.
All right.
3 and 4.
I'll let you hold on to your little dream.
So what would you give Sing?
Oh, gosh, back to Sing. 4, easy.
A 4?
Yeah. I was delighted by it. I thought it was really good. We've listened to the soundtrack like 4 times. Seth MacFarlane kills it.
Seth MacFarlane kills in everything.
He's really good in this. Like, he plays this really smarmy jerk of a character with a velvety, gorgeous voice, and it's awesome.
Have you heard him in... Oh, God. I think
Family Guy?
No.
American Dad?
No, shut up. It was...
Ted?
It was some sort of... I said shut up. It was some sort of thing that he was doing in England. It was something, some honors thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he sang... he did the song from The Music Man. He's like, We've Got Trouble. Trouble in River City.
Yeah.
He's
awesome. Like I would be willing to guarantee that that's his favorite musical because he's done
a lot
things
of stuff
from The Music Man like in everything he's ever done. Like he gets that in there somehow. So yeah, I'm not surprised by that. But yeah, he's great. Like if we were doing a fan cast of that show, Charlie and I were, and we cast him as Harold Hill for sure. He'd be the best. He would be amazing. I would totally watch that if they did it, but
maybe one day.
Maybe.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Let's do it, man.
We've rambled a lot.
Shall I tell the people where they can find me?
Yes.
Well, right now I'm in Rapunzel's Tower, but if you want to locate me on social media, I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Gavin Audison Art.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the show on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast and on Twitter at Animate Podcast.
You can download the episodes from iTunes and Stitcher, where you can also subscribe, rate, and like us. Can they like on there? They can rate. They can rate and review. Yeah. Please do those things. And you can also go to our website, which is animationstation.com. Podcast.com. And there's a listen tab where you can hear the episodes there. And we have a Facebook page. Did you say Facebook? Page.
And we tumble.
And we tumble. Woo.
I don't know how Tumble works. Tumblr is just a cool place where I can go and look at people's
art. And we've
art.
never bothered with Snapchat. So sorry, Snapchatters. Is that what they call them?
Snappers.
Snappers?
I don't know. Snappers.
We don't know. We're not into that crowd.
They're like fishies.
Yeah.
Like snappers.
Awesome.
So next week we're doing Hey Arnold, and you probably won't be here.
It's possible that I will be here for the recording, just as kind of a
I don't even want you in here for the recording, because you just make snide remarks.
Oh, well.
I'll just kick you out.
Okay. But yeah, we might have a guest on, helping you out, right?
2 guests on.
Ooh,
Who knows?
Cool. That's fine. I like having guests.
Still finalizing guests.
Cool. I'm excited to kick off Audience Appreciation April, and we should reveal the big prize package by then, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. Yep. I'm excited. You guys should be excited.
We should have everything in by the 2nd episode.
Cool.
We had some stuff that was on back order, and it's shipping. It'll ship like on the 4th, which the episode comes out on the 3rd. So it's kind of can't really talk about it. So
cool. I like it.
All right,
man. I think that's about it.
Done?
We're done.
All right. So for the Animation Station podcast, I'm Josh.
I'm Gavin.
Bye, little butterfly.
Yeah, that's what you've been doing.
That's what I've been doing.
I like that. Yeah, made you look.
Thank you for listening to the Animation Station podcast. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Animation Station Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Animate Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes and join the conversation at secretsuperheroclub.com, where you can connect with our podcast friends, Cloud City Cast, Getting Into Comics, and Shaun of the Gathering.